I want to just tell you that Alameda County, they are unbelievable. They have an 8-hour training program for their new members. And those new members are required to go to that 8-hour training program to be on their board. Now, you might not want to do that, but you might want to say, okay, let's do every 2 years or whenever we get new members, if we got 3 new members, do a 3-hour training program to bring them up to speed. Whatever works in your community, but make sure it gets done, because that's only going to help you in the long run. Now, continuing education. What do you do in your monthly meetings? I certainly hope that you have a CAPA report, because your director can give you from CAPA all the information that's going on with legislation and budgeting. I would hope that you would have a report from somebody that gets on the SECA calls. We have monthly calls, and that somebody, and Karen Kiesler comes on, a lobbyist. She's CAPA's lobbyist now. She used to be UDW's lobbyist, but very knowledgeable. She'll give you all the up-to-date information on legislation, on litigation, on budgeting, and you should be getting at your advisory committee a report on that to keep you current with what's going on. You should also be getting a presentation from your public authority director to tell you what's going on with your with the registry, what's going on, how many people on the registry, what's going on with all the benefits, how many people are on benefits for medical, vision, dental, et cetera, if you have it. All that information should be coming to you on a monthly basis so that you are current. You should also be getting a monthly report from your IHSS director. What's going on? How far behind are they with their coming out to do an assessment and reassessments? What's the current information on that? How many social workers are there? How many intakes are they doing each month? How long a wait is it on the telephone calls that are coming in? All that kind of information, and give you an opportunity to ask them questions. Fraud unit, another big, huge thing. Every county has a fraud unit now. You can ask them to come in on a quarterly basis, every 6 months. What is that fraud unit doing? How much money did you get from the state? How much money did your county draw down in fraud money? What are you finding? How many cases are you litigating? What kind of cases are you litigating? Ask those hard questions. It's your responsibility. This is how you stay educated. And they have got to bring somebody in. I mean, if they don't, then it's your obligation to go to the Board of Supervisors and say, we've asked for this information and it's not forthcoming, and this is our job. Another thing I would really recommend is that you do a strategic planning meeting. As I mentioned before, your AB 1682 money can be spent on that, and you can long-term and short-term goals for your county. I think that's very, very important. What does your county need? And get that input if you can. The SECA meetings, the SECA monthly calls, I hope all of you have somebody from your advisory committee on those SECA monthly calls. It's a font of information. And your AB 1682 money can be used for other conferences, local, state, and even national. So if you want to go to the C4A conference, you can use that money for that. That's the senior and local area agencies on aging, C4A. And also CWDA, California Welfare Directors Association, has their meeting in conjunction with that. So it's really a good conference to go to it. So, and you can use your AB 1682 funds for that. So any other, and the only thing that you are required to do if you use your funds for these conferences, even for this one, when you go back, you're supposed to give a report to your advisory committee. That's by state law, that your statute, that you have to give a report to everybody of what you learned and how effective it was for your educational process. Okay. Information gathering. Very, very quickly, I'd like you to go to, we just had the session before this with John Wilkins, who is the IHSS Coalition webmaster. He was also the founder of the IHSS Coalition. If you go to ihsscoalition.org, I don't know how many of you were in that session, you were before, but that is an excellent source of information, electronic information, and it'll keep you way current. You can go there and get information on all the bills that are pending, on the budget information. You could get information on the litigation process. And I cite this site because it'll give you information, links to all the other sites. And it's like a one-stop shop. So, and John is incredible about keeping it updated. I mean, he gets up in the morning, the first thing he does is update his website. So instead of having to go to a whole bunch of them, I really recommend you go to ihsscoalition.org, check it out, and you'll find it incredibly helpful. Okay, that was all I was going to cover in this particular session. Any questions from anybody? Okay, one down. Couple of questions. David's coming with the mic. We're almost done, Amy, believe it or not.
Okay. Hi, Janie. I've got a question on revitalizing your board. When you realize that because of the way things have been done in the past, and you know in El Dorado County we're working very hard to change how things have been done in the past. I mean, I'm here, that's huge. How do you gently encourage people to leave the board that either don't have the ability or the really don't want to participate, but I don't know why they come, because we don't even do cookies, but they're, you know, certainly if it's attendance issues where, you know, I'm writing those letters and we're creating positions, but we just, you know, we have a lot of non-participation, and we have a lot of still county influence on filling seats with people that they know aren't going to participate.
That's a two-pronged issue. The one about the county, I think you need to work with your board aides and the board of supervisors, just to let them know that you think that the advisory committee would be best served by you going out into the community, finding people who would be really dynamite board members, and that because of the resources that you have, that they would be better served by you getting these folks on board, giving them, saying that we know that you're going to do your due diligence on these folks too, but if you would let us make the initial contacts, and we think you'll be very pleased with the outcome. Grovel a little bit. Okay, that piece of it.
Hi, my name is Jeannie, and I'm from Humboldt County. We have a recruitment committee, and it's 3 people are on the recruitment committee. And part of that we do is we identify the different organizations in the county that would be beneficial to our board. Whatever those are, you figure out what those are. The other part is to, in our bylaws, we have, if you don't attend these meetings, you don't call ahead of time, or if you're unable to call on the phone, to be a part of the meeting that way, that you just need to delineate, these are the rules, and you need to take them one by one and tell them in the most gracious manner that what can we do? We need to have participation, and these things have fell by the way, so things that didn't get acted on, minutes didn't get pulled through, I can't even think of the word for it, but those kinds of jobs that didn't get done in the meetings because we didn't have a quorum. So you just need to make a list of those kinds of things, a list of the organizations that should be on the committee, and just ask them, we really need to be better, and just approach them.
I think when you get people you want to get that, quote, dead wood off. What we've done in Santa Clara a couple of times is, I said, we'd love to have you come back. We want your participation, but we know that it's difficult for you and this is not your cup of tea. Would, sort of say, we would really appreciate your resignation and to let somebody else comes on who enjoys this and wants to be more, wants to get more involved, but please continue to come. I mean, I always say to folks, we'll come, we'll give you the lunch, and we'd love to have you come back, but we know that you're not, this is not your cup of tea, and there might be somebody else who might be a little bit more effective. So as graciously as you can, but lay it on the line that they are not obviously thinking that this is something that they love to do. And push the advocacy piece, the educational piece. And a lot of people don't like doing that at all. And say, our expectation is more than I think you're willing to give us. Okay.
Janie, quick question. On the SECA handbook, are you going to send it out by PDF so we can?
Yeah, it'll be on
available online.
Well, that's a good question. Time? Okay. The handbook, when we get it done, will it be ready online? I think we might be able to give you a disc, but we are not going to be putting it out there because we want this to be, if you're a SECA member, we want you to have it.
Okay.
As a SECA member, but we don't want the general public. I mean, you've got to have something. For being a SECA member, we'd like you to have a product.
So if we made a request, we could probably get all.
Yeah, we'll give it to you as a disc, for sure.
And then one other brief question. On the SECA meeting notes, I mean, you have a 10 o'clock meeting. That's not always easy to attend. I do attend some.
Oh, you mean the conference calls?
The conference calls. Are you going to put, are there minutes that come out on this
yes,
so we can report
yes,
on?
and they are posted.
Okay, great.
And I think Amy's a little bit behind. She does those. But, and if you want to get them individually, ask her, and she can get them to you. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. I think we need to vacate the room for lunch.